Well, hello to all my timeless beauties. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Today I wanted to talk about the big M. And by the big M, I mean menopause. So menopause is something that I went through recently. So I feel quite close to it and something that I can talk through and give some advice on or share my experience and what worked for me. I think as a society, it's not a topic that we really talk about that much. It's a bit of a taboo topic. But it's happening all around us and to the women in our lives, and will happen to all of them at some point in their lives. And I think it's something that we should de-stigmatize and talk more openly about. Something that's a very overwhelming change in your life. I guess it's, it's like hitting puberty, having a baby, going through menopause. They're big events in people's lives, particularly women's lives. And along with that comes a lot of symptoms, and some of them are quite unpleasant. And I think being able to talk openly and have that discussion of what works for different people can only be a helpful thing. So I want to go through my experience and just have a chat about what menopause is, the 3 stages of menopause, and then go into some tips that I have that helped me and hopefully can help you. So there's 3 stages of menopause. There's perimenopause that normally hits around age 45, but of course that's just average. And that is when your periods become irregular and can go on for several years. So your period might not be every month and you might start experiencing some symptoms of menopause. And the big one that you might experience is hot flashes. Now, when you hit menopause, you don't know that you're in menopause. There's no way that you can know that until a year later. So they define menopause as when you don't have a period for an entire year. But of course, you have to go through that entire year to go, hey, I was in menopause that last year. You can't say it while you're kind of in it, because you might still be in perimenopause and you might still have a period. So menopause, in a fascinating way, is something you can only define in the past. Bit of a mind blow. After 1 year of not having a period, your class is postmenopause. So you've gone through that year of not having a period and you're in your postmenopausal years. So the most common symptoms when you're going through menopause, and again, these symptoms can appear when you're perimenopausal, are insomnia, vaginal dryness, weight gain, depression, anxiety, difficulty concentrating, memory problems, reduced libido or sex drive, dry skin, mouth and eyes, headaches, reduced muscle mass, painful or stiff joints, and reduced bone mass. Okay, so I think I pretty much had most of those, I think. Now, the insomnia one, I personally think that has a lot to do with the hot flashes. So when you have hot flashes, you can have them day or night. But if you're having them during the day, it's usually going on just in your everyday life, right? So you could be working. I could have one right now. You could be anywhere. And because you're distracted by what's going on in your day-to-day life, you might be aware of it. Oh, I'm having a hot flash, but you're not focusing on it. I think when you're trying to sleep and you're trying to relax your body and you have one, it feels way worse because you're really focused on it, and it's like doing the complete opposite to what you want, which is you want to relax. Now, I had quite terrible hot flashes. I didn't go through perimenopause. If you've watched my videos before, you'll know that I had breast cancer and I was diagnosed when I was 43. So I'm 45 now, so it was 2 years ago. And for me, my estrogen levels was all like that. And then I was forced into medical menopause, and I was forced into it, and I still am, by a daily hormone blocker pill, which is called letrozole, and a monthly injection called Zoladex. So that causes my estrogen levels to plummet like that. So I really fell off a cliff because of those drugs. And the reason they did that was because my particular type of cancer was driven by estrogen, had estrogen receptors on it. So therefore, they want to eliminate as much estrogen as they can in my body, or lower it as much as they can, so that I don't have a recurrence of cancer. So for me, the hot flashes were literally like overnight. I just suddenly started having them and they were terrible. My cheeks would go bright red and I'd be quite comfortable. It would feel quite itchy. My skin would be super sensitive and it was just really not pleasant. So I did a few things during that time. Now, I just grabbed these PJs out, which is what I used to wear. They're just like normal PJs, but they actually are cooling pajamas. Now, these ones don't seem to exist anymore, but I will pop a link to some in the description box. And they're made of special material that keeps you cool. Like even feeling this, it's so weird. And it's cool, which is just, it's pretty amazing. I reckon these cool you down by maybe 1 or 2 degrees. So they're not gonna make you feel cold. It's not like air conditioning or anything like that, or having a cold shower, but they do just take the edge off it. So I would wear these pajamas all the time. So I just had they came with a little cami top and the shorts, and I would wear these. So yeah, I'll link what I can find down the bottom. And the other thing that I used to use at night time for insomnia was cooling towels. So they're also made of a particular type of material. I don't know the science behind it. It seems quite magic, but you put water in them and then you twist them and it immediately starts to feel cooler. And I used to wear one of those around my neck, and they were a godsend at night time. Sometimes I'd have to get up several times during the night, put cold water on again, do the twist thing, and then I put it around my neck, and that helped enormously with my sleep, which was amazing. The other thing that helped enormously with my sleep was getting an air conditioner. So we had one in our room, but it didn't really work. So we got a new one, and it was pretty life-changing. Our bedroom's on a 2nd floor, and it gets super hot. And you know, all the cooling towels and cooling pajamas, they can only do so much, but getting proper aircon, if you're able to, was a godsend. Next one on the list is vaginal dryness. Now that was a real shocker, to be honest. And you don't really think about those areas being dry until you're going through it and you realize actually that's really painful. So estrogen levels, and this is your skin and everything, having estrogen and a non-menopausal level of estrogen in your body, it helps keep your skin not dry, and it is like a lubrication. And I'm talking about everywhere, not just talking about sex lubrication. I'm talking about your joints, your skin, everything. Like estrogen is really important for not feeling dry. So when you have that taken away from you, it's all interlinked. So your skin is much drier, and your mouth feels more dry, your lips become more dry, your hair becomes more dry, and your vagina becomes more dry too. It's all part and parcel of the estrogen drop. Now, the biggest thing for me with that was hot baths. So I love a hot bath, and I used to put lots of Epsom salts in there and have a good old, you know, quite like to read a book in the bath, and I'd also like it super hot. Also love super hot showers as well. And I just found with all this whole dry business that I just couldn't do that. So I can't have a long hot bath or shower, or else everything would feel dry. So I had to treat all of me way more sensitively. So using sensitive products, using super moisturizing products, and just gently treating myself like a delicate flower or a butterfly. Beauty editors would say, don't have hot showers or baths. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? I'm fine doing that. My hair's fine, my skin's fine. Once you hit menopause, it's not fine anymore. You can't do it. Everything will dry out. It's terrible. Now, one of the other symptoms is loss of libido, and there's 2 reasons for that. Dryness is one reason, like you physically don't want to because you think it's going to hurt. The other one is that the hormones dropping in you means your body's like, hey, well, I don't want you to have babies anymore because you can't, because you're menopausal. So therefore, I'm going to make you not think that you want to have sex anymore. There's that as well. So they're 2 different issues. So I think you treat the dryness in one way, and if you need to go to your doctor also to get assistance with dryness, then that's one thing. Now I found for me, not having the hot showers and not having the hot baths with the Epsom salts, that kind of solved that dryness issue. But if it's chronic for you, then you should definitely go to your doctor and ask for some advice on products to use, because it's really uncomfortable. It's not a pleasant thing. So there's that with the sex. And the other bit is, your loss of libido. Now, I have been in menopause, forced menopause, for 18 months now, 18 months to 2 years. And it's only now that I could even care less about sex. So if you're going through that and you think, I'm never going to want to have sex again, it's like having a baby. Like, I think it's your body almost shuts you down, because it's like, no, you're not going to want to have sex, and I'm trying to protect you right now from doing that, and therefore you're not going to want to. You will come out of that just like you do when you have a baby. You'll be like, actually, that idea doesn't sound all that bad. And of course, it's connection with your partner and making time for them and having physical closeness to them and all of that stuff that's related to the complicated female libido. But I would say that if you're going through it and you're thinking, oh my God, I'm planning to live for another 40 years and I definitely want to have sex in my future, but I don't want to, it'll change. You'll get through it. Okay. And if you need help, talk to your doctor. Okay. Next one is weight gain. So weight gain is really common. And my doctor was telling me a lot of women just immediately when they're in menopause put on 5 to 10 kilos. Now, I actually lost weight, which I'm super proud of. But for me, that was all connected to being healthy and not wanting a recurrence of breast cancer. And for me, that means having a healthy body weight, and it means being active. Now, also, reduced muscle mass and reduced bone mass is part of menopause. And because I've gone into menopause earlier than most women, it means that I'm susceptible to have osteoporosis earlier, which is not good. So I'm doing things to prevent that. So I'd highly recommend that anyone going through premenopause to do the same. So I go to the gym when I'm able to, when we're not in lockdown, but I go twice a week. I have one assisted training session on weights and one weight session by myself. And I got a special program created for me. So female, my age, with my aches and pains and whatever's going on. And I do that twice a week. I also walk religiously. I take the dog for walks probably 3 or 4 times a day, walk heaps, do that a lot. And I also try to get a little sprint every now and then as well for the cardio. I'm also looking at maybe buying one of the Peloton bikes because they look kind of cool for those days when it's rainy, so I can do something inside that's cardio as well. But it's really important, I think, to keep moving, and that helps with the painful stiff joints, which is one of the symptoms. It helps with your bone mass and it helps with your muscle mass. So weight training, exercise, super important. Okay, now depression and anxiety. Now I think, depression and anxiety, they're quite complicated and they are also related to your hormones. Us women know we go on a roller coaster ride in a direct response to what's going on with our hormones, and menopause is no different. So again, if you're feeling depressed or anxious, first step is to go to your doctor. Of course, it helps to move and it helps to be feeling good in your body. It's all related. But, sometimes you do need to go on medication, and I'm on medication. So the one that I'm on is this Lexam. So it's an escitalopram, and I'm on 10 milligrams daily. Now, this is actually for hot flashes. People are often on this for anxiety and depression, and they're also on it for menopausal symptoms, specifically hot flashes. This low dose, 10 milligrams, a lot of people are on 20, but I'm on 10, got rid of my hot flashes pretty much overnight. And it also has that added bonus that it can help with your anxiety and depression. Now, I don't think I was overly anxious or depressed, but I have noticed my mood is a lot more even on this, which is great. So again, I'm not a doctor. You go to your doctor and talk about it. But I know that a lot of people have never heard about this and have been suffering for hot flashes for years and years and years, when this is something that literally cured mine, which is why I can't find my cool towels and I can't find the top to these pajamas because I don't need them anymore because I don't have the hot flashes. So yes, Lexam 10, definitely ask your GP about it. If you're having hot flashes and you're miserable, look into it. Now the dry skin, again, with hot flashes, I found this. I've mentioned this a few times. I'll link it down below. Get it off iHerb. It's the Nature Republic Aloe Vera 92% Soothing Gel Mist. I'll always mention this. It's just, let's put some on now. Whew. See, check out that glow. Put this in the fridge. Aloe vera, so nothing that is going to irritate your skin. Spray it on you at night time, keep it by your bedside, spray it on during the day. Makes your skin look great, it makes you feel cool because it's been in the fridge. Oh, it's just the best. It has a really great fresh aloe vera smell. So yes, highly recommend this. As far as supplements go, this is the only one that I take, and this is the Estrogen, or it could be anything, but I take the Estrogen one. Calcium and vitamin D3 combined. The vitamin D helps absorb the calcium. Now I take this because, again, daily, because I'm under threat of osteoporosis, I actually have to have a bone density scan every year just to check that it's okay, because I have gone into menopause so early and they just want to keep a watch on that. So this is something that I will take every day, probably for the rest of my life. So that's something, again, to ask your GP about. And I get my calcium and vitamin D levels tested in a blood test regularly as well to make sure that they're okay. So the other tips I just have is, if you're feeling like you've got achy joints and you're feeling stiff, if you are able to really incorporate practitioners to help you with that. So as I said, I have a personal trainer for the gym for weights. I also see a physio regularly, and I also see a chiropractor regularly, and I get massages regularly. Now, all of this, you know, it's not cheap, but I do pay private health insurance to kind of help with that. But it just means that I'm not miserable. And of course, I don't do all that all at once. It's like a revolving door, but it just really helps with the pain relief of that, because I think you can get in a cycle of feeling like crap, taking painkillers, and then you just keep doing it, but you're not improving and you don't know how to improve. But incorporating that gym work, and particularly the weights, but also just moving. Like if I sit in this chair all day at work, I will feel terrible at the end of the day. Like I need to get the body moving. Another product that I couldn't live without is this wheat bag. So this is Heaven Sent brand, made in Australia, therapeutic hot and cold pack. So I heat this up in the microwave and I just put on my sore back or sore neck or whatever's sore. I often go to bed with it as well. I think my main message is, yeah, you don't need to live in pain, and you shouldn't live in pain, because a lot of these symptoms can be quite miserable and debilitating. And I think it's really important not to just live and suffer in silence with it. Like, talk to your doctor about these symptoms and what you're going through and what might help. And talk to friends that have gone through it as well. There's a lot of stuff on the internet if you search for it. I found those cooling towels and the cooling PJs through internet searches. As I said, menopause is such a taboo topic, and I really wish it wasn't. Like, it should be something that everybody talks about, and everybody, just so that it's not this mysterious thing that you have to suffer from, because it's not. Now, I just want to also mention hormone replacement therapy, HRT. That's a really big, hot topic. Now, I am not a candidate for hormone replacement therapy, because I'm trying to do the opposite and reduce the estrogen in my body, because I don't want a cancer recurrence. If you want some information on hormone replacement therapy and how it can help, go to Angie at Hot and Flashy's YouTube channel. I will link her below. She's got some awesome videos on it and how it's helped her. It's great. She's got heaps of research. She's even got, I think, some specialists that come on her channel and talk about it as well, which is great. So that's the video for today. I hope it's helped. If you've got anything you'd like to add or mention in the comments that you think I've missed, or you have questions about, or products that you've used that you've really enjoyed, then pop them in there. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.